What are you thirsty for? Happy Thirsty Thursday with me, Jake Thurston. What comes to mind when you think of holiness? What comes to mind when you hear the word holiness? I feel like a lot of us have a love-hate relationship with holiness. I think the majority of us, though, think of God. Of course, God is holy. He's perfect. He's righteous. He's just. And I think a lot of us look at ourselves and think, we're not that, right? Holiness is something that we often recognize in other people, but never really want to recognize it in ourselves because I think a lot of times we view holiness as something that's really, really difficult to achieve. Or we look at saints like the Pope or Mother Teresa or those kind of figures and think, man, they are so holy, they are so righteous, they just seem like they have their whole life together. Like, I can never be like that. I could never be at that level. I think a lot of times we also view holy people as exceptionally disciplined, almost to the degree where they like don't want to have fun, where they have some kind of moral reason to not watch The Incredibles or Toy Story by Pixar, and we're like, man, that seems more like a burden than something that we should actually pursue. And I think more than anything, we think that holiness is this rigorous lifestyle where we have to be, like I said, exceptionally disciplined in everything that we do. And that puts a bad taste in our mouth, and we're like, man, I don't really know if that's something I want to have if it's going to require so much work of me. Now, don't get me wrong, there certainly is discipline that is involved with holiness, like living like God and being a righteous person is definitely requires disciplines like reading scripture and praying, spending time with the Lord, and doing these things to form us more into His character. But if Jesus came to give us life, and He came to lift our burdens, for His yoke is easy and light, right? Then it doesn't make sense for why our relationship with Him, being formed into His image, is something that is disciplined and not, quite frankly, fun. A quote that I heard about a month or so ago that has stuck with me is that if your understanding of holiness is not intimately connected with joy, then you're worshiping the wrong God. Let me say that again. If your understanding of holiness is not intimately connected with joy, then you're worshiping the wrong God. Quite frankly, holiness is just simply the all-out pursuit of God and trying to obey His will. It's loving God, it's loving neighbor, and living in obedience to what He wants us to do. And when we consistently are doing that, then what we find ourselves doing is we are set free to be on this captivating, lifelong journey of falling in love with the Father, of becoming more intimately connected with Christ, and for us to love people and to see the best in people. And then, now holiness isn't just this rigorous discipline of trying to do all these things and living by these rules, but it becomes a natural way of life, something that we want to pursue. Something that is actually joyful, where we can actually look at our relationship with the Lord and have fun with how we grow in God. So here's my challenge for us. If the pursuit of holiness, if the pursuit of becoming Christ-like, if our relationship with the Lord can in fact be enjoyable, in fact it can be fun, what are ways that you can think outside of the box for your spiritual disciplines? What are ways that you can be creative in how you spend time with the Lord in a way that really gives you life, and it's something that you love and look forward to doing every single day or every other day or once a week, where you can say, this is the moment where I want to spend time with the Lord? Maybe you're an artist and you can sketch what comes to mind as you're listening to scripture on an audio Bible. Maybe you love just hiking and going through nature. Maybe you just love writing and you want to go sit in a coffee shop and spend time with the Lord through writing. Man, there are literally so many so many different ways of how you can interact with the Lord and how our relationship with Him can be enjoyable. So maybe take a couple of moments right now or sometime and just think, what does a creative, out of the box relationship with the Lord look like for me? And then I think we'll come to find that becoming like Christ is an amazing journey that we can look forward to every day.